Alright, what's up everybody? It's Boosterization, or AK Booster, back. I figured, I just, I do a vlog video today on, well, not just today, I plan to do more videos. Basically, what my channel is going to be about is, I guess you could say, situations of everyday life, I guess, or certain topics, such as, work-related topics. You're having problems at work, you guys are more than welcome to send me video responses, or even comments below, and ask me, for advice or whatever. Not that it's going to be much help. I'm not saying that I'm smartest person in the world, but I can do my best to help out or anything like that. So today, pretty much what I wanted to talk about, and this is because of a situation today that I went through at work, but it applies to everyday life. We all have those times where we have friends or let's say accomplices or even co-workers that we see as a friend or somebody we look up to, and sometimes we may get a little heated or hot-headed and say things or get in arguments that we don't necessarily want to escalate that far, but sometimes it just happens. And today, the man who hired me, won't speak any names, but we had a little talk, and this is why I came up with this topic for today, because pretty much the topic would be forgiveness, and it's a little situational. I'll keep names out of it, but really I had gotten in an argument with a co-worker slash supervisor, really, about my work and the way that I work at my company. So really, we had a disagreement. It's fine, disagreements happen, and he disagreed with me, I disagreed with him. It was a mutual disagreement. But one thing that I was brought to knowledge today while having this talk with I call him boss man, the man who hired me, is that even though sometimes bad things happen, we shouldn't allow that to take the power from us. We need to, I guess, because I'm religious, I believe in God, and if we let a grudge or something that has happened to us rule our body, we're letting that rule us, when really it should be God or whoever you may look up to as a higher power, or if you don't believe in a higher power, then to yourself. You let that grudge consume you and take your power away. And really, we shouldn't do that. We should forgive. Maybe not always forget, but forgive, and to not necessarily apologize, but to make peace with the situation or the person that we have either upset, because that person may have not have meant to say those things, or for it to escalate to the level that it did. And we always will hold grudges, and it's like, oh, well, I'm not talking to him because whatever he done to me or said to me, or and excuse me, we hold on to those, and really we shouldn't, because that person could help us out in other ways, or may look up to us and didn't mean to hurt us, or we could actually hurt that person by holding on to that grudge. Because if they really wanted to be a part of our lives, and we hold on to a grudge over something that's, I'm not going to say petty or small or minor, or even major, really. Yeah, it may be major to you, may not be major to me, may not be major to the next guy, but it's major to you. But if you look at it and try to put yourself in that person's shoes as a boss or as a coworker or friend, trying to help you understand that don't stop doing what you do because you're not getting what you say you want. And by that I mean, you may want a lot of things out of life. You may want, more money, or oh, I want a new car, or I want something like that. And really, in reality, that as long as you're patient, and I know everyone's heard the statement, well, not everyone, but patience is a virtue, and it really is, because I'm learning that right now. I mean, my trucks went down. I'm having to get a ride to work every morning, and it's honestly, it sucks, but patience is one thing that I realized applies to everything in life. If you live life trying to get everything like snap, 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 you're gonna rush your life away, and you're not ever gonna get what you want. I mean, you may sometimes, occasionally, get what you want eventually by doing that, but if you just wait, you could be like, say, let me use this as an example. You want a new car, blah blah blah, and you go to the car lot and you see, oh, this car is cheap, it's in my budget range, and it's like a Dodge Challenger, whatever. You go ahead and buy it, okay? And it's like a 2007 maybe, or 8. And then you go to the next car lot, just to look. Even though you bought this one, you go to look, and all of a sudden this guy's got a 2012 for cheaper than what you just paid for 2008. Same car, nicer, maybe even loaded, bigger engine, possibly something you would want even more. And then you're gonna be like, oh, see, if I'd have just been patient and looked around first, I would have got something I wanted more, newer, cheaper, and saved a little bit of money. And I guess that's kind of what I'm saying, and forgiveness ties into that, because we rush through life, and some people believe, oh, friends come and go, it'll be alright, I don't need him. Eventually down the road you will. So don't burn bridges that you may have to cross again. That's what I was always told growing up. And I don't know, just kind of forgive people, give them a second chance, because they're never going to learn how to talk to people or treat people if you don't help them realize, hey, I have a issue with expressing myself to certain people, or or even how to treat people, so I need to do better. So let me look on myself, make them look on themselves, and see that, hey, okay, I was wrong in this aspect, but then also, if you think of it that way, they could think about what you were wrong in, and then maybe even make you realize and understand in a calm manner that, hey, I didn't appreciate this that you did. And you may look at yourself and say, okay, maybe I was wrong for doing so, or doing that. And, it helps you both out. You learn from your mistakes, then that bond will become better. And, there's still peace there. That burden's not on you. It's not taking power over you. And you can concentrate on your higher power, or yourself. You don't have to carry that burden on your back and be stressed out. So many people get stressed out over little minor or major things that if they just looked at it a different way, it's kind of like glass half full or glass half empty kind of thing. If you look at it, oh, well, I got a half a cup of juice sounds negative. But if you look at it in a positive way, my cup is half full of juice. You could have no juice. It's kind of like that, you know. You look at it, oh, friends come and go, I don't need him. That's looking at it a negative way. The more friends you have, the more help you're going to have. So, you could say, oh, I have this friend and this friend. This friend, he could have went, but he didn't. He stayed by my side. And that's what a true friend is. Now you do have your exceptions. Okay, I'm speaking like everything's going to be a perfect world. No, you have your exceptions of people who just won't ever learn. They have to learn the hard way, and losing a friend is going to be that way. So that person, you got to look at it this way. They won't ever learn. They'll treat you bad, and don't care about your feelings at all. Then, okay, you know that about them. But if you think of them as a friend, it's kind of like, or even family, okay? Because I do have some friends that I see as family, and actually, one of my very good friends that I consider kind of like a brother to me has a YouTube page as well, but he does, gaming and stuff like that. Direct the Ripper is his name. If you want to check him out, I do subscribe to him, so check it out. But he's like a brother to me, and we've had our ups and downs. We've gotten in, I would say, fights physically, but we've had our disagreements. But to this day, and this is from 4th grade, I can honestly say that Ryan has stayed behind my back. And if it wouldn't have been for him, I probably wouldn't know what true friendship is. Because even though it was like 6 years till I seen him again after we moved away from Tennessee, it's like nothing had changed. We were still best friends. And honestly, I'd probably take a bullet for the kid. Or guy, sorry, we're not kids anymore. But bullet for the guy. Because he's always been there. He's, if I'm upset, he'll listen. And he'll give me advice. Like, I'm here for y'all. If y'all ever need any advice or any situations that you need advice on, hey, comment below. I'll give you a personal video response, or I'll do a video about it, and I'll bring your name up, and say this is the best advice I have for you. And really today, just while I was at work, because I'm a painter, once I run out of parts, I have some downtime, and I'll sweep up or whatever. It gives me time up here, even when I'm painting, time up here. And I was thinking of that, like this guy that I got in an argument with, I have to forgive him, because if it wouldn't have been for him, I wouldn't know what I know about painting, for one. Some of the things about machining I wouldn't know. 2, this is my livelihood. This man's been a very important part of my livelihood. And 3, most importantly, I know he's a good guy, and I know he's my friend, because there was even times that I didn't have gas money because me as a man didn't take care of my responsibilities, and I spent more money than I should have, and I didn't have gas money to put in my truck. So he loaned me $20, and he said, when you get paid tomorrow, just pay me back. Sure enough, I said, man of my word, I said, I don't really, my pride said, don't accept this because it's your own fault, but I knew he was my friend, so I took it. I did exactly what I was going to do with it, got gas with it. Come Thursday, that man had a $20 bill in his hand, along with a thank you, and that's the thing, I wouldn't still have this job. I wouldn't still be and get paid $12.25 an hour for, as a machinist. Well, machine operator, really. I mean, I don't know everything about machinist, but I'm working on it. Painter, how pump parts work. That's what I do for a living. I wouldn't be able to balance parts with good form and rounded. If it wasn't for him, he taught me some of the stuff. Also, my friend TJ at work. If it wouldn't have been for him, I wouldn't be in this job, and I probably still wouldn't be in this job, because all I do is be painting, and honestly, I don't really like to paint anymore. It gives me a headache. So, that's, if it wouldn't have been for them two men there, along with the guy I was talking to today, probably wouldn't still be in my job, and I wouldn't be as good at it as I am. So when they need help, they always come to me, and there for a while I thought I was being taken advantage of. I thought I was being used, and that's why we had a disagreement. But in reality, I see it's not him that's doing the abusing and taking advantage of. It's because he has pressure on him, and he's been told to get things done. And because things aren't getting done because of me stopping them things, because I think I'm getting taken advantage of, causes more pressure on him, which causes also him to get in trouble, which in turn got him pretty heated at me already. I mean, yes, I didn't have to do those things, but because he was my friend, I should have. And that's kind of the thing. We got to be able to forgive, and we also got to be able to look into ourselves and say, hey, maybe I was wrong just a little bit in that situation. And I learn that every day, every single day. And that's one thing that we'll always learn in life. There's always lessons right around the corner, and everything you do, there's going to be a lesson out of it. And one thing, with painting that I learned when I first started here is that keep up your paint, because painting the parts, because if you get backed up and something comes out and it's a bunch of things that come out that need to be painted all at one time, you're going to be running around and you're going to be painting super fast. You're going to be stressed, you're going to freak out, and you got more stress on your body that's going to break your body down and exhaust you. And that all in itself is bad. So, have a sense of urgency, as my boss man used to say. Have a sense of urgency and do things, take initiative, go ahead and do them, knock them out. Because when them things come up and they come out on you like that, you won't be running around. You'll pull them right into your bay that's empty because you kept up, and you just paint them up. Then boom, you're done, and you're still caught up on painting. So it's today, like I said, guys, its topic was forgiveness. And just if you have somebody out there that you're holding a grudge against, or you're maybe not holding a grudge as bad as you used to, and you still talk to that person, but your relationship isn't what it used to be, it's because you're still holding on to a piece of it. And your higher power, God, or they can't take that burden off of you if you're still holding on to it. So let it go, forgive the person, and you think of them as a friend, family member, or whatever. You take care of them even when they don't take care of you, because then that'll eventually show them that, hey, I did this guy wrong for so many years, and he was still behind me every single time. And yeah, I shouldn't have done that, and they'll learn from that, and then eventually they're going to do that for another person themselves. And that's one step closer we come to treating people how we are supposed to. Golden rule says treat people, I know it's kind of corny, but treat people how you want to be treated. But it's so true. You walk into a grocery store in the morning time, and this person's like, what do you want? You're going to be like, well, that's rude, and you're going to treat them, well, I want this. You're not going to say please, you're not going to, no. But if you come in and they're like, how are you doing, sir or ma'am? And what can I get for you today? And then they're like, oh, well, I want this, such and such, please. Treat people how you'd want to be treated, guys. Even if you don't get treated like you would treat them in return. because yeah, they may not treat you like that in return, but eventually they're going to look back on it and say, well, maybe I shouldn't have talked to him like this, maybe I shouldn't have done this to him, maybe I shouldn't have treated him this way. And that's all about forgiveness, and they'll ask your forgiveness, and then because you've already forgave them for it, it won't be that hard, and you ain't got that burden on you, it's on them. And then when they ask you for forgiveness, it's off of them. So guys, just think of that. I'm gonna wrap up the video. It's 20 minutes me talking y'all's ears off. But boosterization, subscribe, leave me comments below, or even topics to do, because I work long hours every day, so topics are gonna not really come as easily once I start talking about certain things. So I was thinking about tomorrow maybe doing bloodlines, real family opposed to blood thicker than water kind of thing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe, leave comments in. If y'all need advice, more than welcome to message me, leave me a response, comment below. Video responses are welcome. And hope to see you guys tomorrow or the next time I post a video. Thank you guys for watching, and you guys are awesome.